I found out my daughter got married by scrolling through Facebook. Not from a phone call, not from an invitation, not even from a text saying, "Sorry, Dad, it's complicated." My only child, my little girl Jennifer, the one I raised alone after her mother died, got married on a Saturday afternoon in May, and I learned about it when someone I barely knew tagged her in a wedding album. My name is Thomas Mitchell. I'm 58 years old, and this is the story of how I became invisible to the person I love most in the world. Let me take you back to where things started falling apart. My wife Catherine died of breast cancer 6 years ago. She fought for 3 years. Surgeries, chemo, radiation, clinical trials. Jennifer was 26 when we lost her. It destroyed both of us. Catherine and I had built a beautiful life together in Portland. I'd started a logistics company in my 30s, worked my way up from driving trucks to owning a fleet. When Catherine got sick, business was good, really good. When she died, I sold the company. I couldn't focus anymore. Every client meeting, every business decision, without her, nothing felt like it mattered. I walked away with $5.8 million after taxes. Jennifer didn't know the exact amount. She knew I sold the company. She knew I was comfortable. But we'd never discussed numbers. Catherine and I had always been private about money. We'd raised Jennifer to value work, education, character, not dollar signs. After Catherine died, Jennifer and I grew closer, or so I thought. She'd come over every Sunday for dinner. We'd talk about her work, her friends, her life. She was a graphic designer, talented, independent. She had Catherine's creativity. Then 2 years ago, she met Marcus Holloway. He was 29, worked in finance, or sales, or consulting. I never quite understood what he did, but he wore expensive suits and drove a BMW he couldn't afford. The first time Jennifer brought him to Sunday dinner, I knew. Maybe you've met someone like this. Someone who shakes your hand too hard, who smiles too much, who asks questions that feel friendly but land like an interview. "So, Thomas," Marcus said over dessert, "Jen told me you sold your business. Logistics, right? Must have been a nice exit." "It was fine," I said carefully. "I work in M&A myself," Marcus continued. "Always interesting to hear about successful exits. What kind of multiple did you get? 3 times EBITDA? 4?" Jennifer laughed. "Marcus, Dad doesn't want to talk business at dinner." But Marcus kept pushing. Over the next several months, every conversation circled back to money. Real estate values, investment strategies, retirement planning. "Thomas, are you working with a financial advisor? Because I know a few people who specialize in high net worth clients. I could make an introduction." "I'm good, Marcus. Thanks. Just, at your age, you want to make sure your estate planning is solid." For Jennifer. "Have you thought about trusts? Tax optimization?" Jennifer would always cut him off. "Marcus, stop. Dad's got it handled." But I saw what was happening. Marcus wasn't interested in me. He was interested in what I had. 6 months after they started dating, Jennifer came over one Sunday without Marcus. She looked tense. "Dad, I need to tell you something," she said while we were clearing dishes after dinner. "Okay." "Marcus proposed. We're engaged." I set down the plate I was washing. "That's fast." "I know, but Dad, I love him. He's ambitious, driven. He wants to build a life." "Jennifer, I know you don't like him," she said quickly. "I get it, but you don't know him like I do. He takes care of me. He's planning our future. Mom would have wanted this. Don't bring your mother into this." That's what I wanted to say. Your mother would have seen right through him. But I didn't, because she was my daughter, and she looked happy. "If you love him," I said slowly, "then I'm happy for you." She hugged me. "Thank you, Dad. That means everything." The engagement changed everything. Jennifer started coming around less. Sunday dinners became every other week, then once a month. Our phone calls got shorter. "Sorry, Dad, Marcus and I are looking at venues." "Sorry, Dad, we're meeting with wedding planners." "Sorry, Dad, work and wedding stuff has been crazy." I understood. She was busy, building a new life. But then Marcus started showing up at my condo unannounced. The first time, he brought coffee. "Hey, Thomas," I was in the neighborhood. "Thought we could chat." We sat on my balcony overlooking the Pearl District. Marcus asked about my investments, my properties, whether I owned my condo outright or had a mortgage. "Marcus, why are you asking me this?" He leaned back casually. "Look, Thomas, I care about Jen. You're her only family. If something, you know, happened to you, I want to make sure she's taken care of." "I'm 58, Marcus. I'm not dying." "Of course not. But estate planning matters. Does Jennifer know what your will looks like? Because if something unexpected happens, and she's not listed properly as a beneficiary, there could be complications. If someone's ever asked you questions about your death like they're making plans, you know how that feels." "My will is fine," I said firmly. "Great, great. I'm just thinking about Jen. She mentioned you sold your company for a good price. 7 figures, right?" "That's a private number, Marcus." Sure. I'm just saying. When you're that wealthy, you need proper legal structures, trusts, tax shelters. I work with estate attorneys. I could connect you." After he left, I called Jennifer. "Why is Marcus asking about my will?" "Dad, he's not asking. He's just trying to help. He knows about this stuff." "Jennifer, has Marcus asked you about my finances?" She hesitated. "What?" "No, I mean, we've talked about our future in general. Like maybe buying a house eventually. Normal couple stuff." "Did he ask you how much money I have?" "Dad, why are you asking this?" "Because he keeps coming over asking questions. He's trying to build a relationship with you." "God, Dad, can't you give him a chance?" We fought. The first real fight we'd had since her teenage years. "You've never liked anyone I've dated," Jennifer said, her voice hard. "That's not true." "Yes, it is. You thought Ryan was too irresponsible. You thought David was too quiet. Now Marcus is too ambitious. Nobody's ever good enough. Jennifer, this isn't about me not liking him. This is about him asking inappropriate questions." "About what? Your money?" "Dad, Marcus came from nothing. His family were immigrants. They struggled. He's sensitive about money because he never wants to be poor again. That's not a crime." "I understand that, but nothing. Either you support this marriage or you don't. Which is it?" What could I say? That I thought her fiancé was a gold digger? That every instinct in my body was screaming danger? "I support you," I said quietly. "If you love him, I support you." "Thank you," she said, still angry. "The wedding's in 8 months. Marcus and I are paying for most of it ourselves, but it would be nice if you contributed. You know, like a father does." There it was. "How much do you need?" We were thinking 30,000 would be appropriate for the father of the bride contribution. $30,000 for a wedding. When Catherine and I got married, we spent $800 at a community hall. But I agreed, because she was my daughter. I wrote the check the following week. After that, things got worse. Jennifer stopped calling. I'd text her. "Dinner this Sunday?" "Can't. Wedding planning." "How about next week?" "Busy. Marcus and I are meeting with the coordinator." 3 months before the wedding, I called her directly. No text, no email. Called. "Dad, I'm at work." "I know, I'm sorry, but we haven't talked in weeks. Can we have dinner? Just the two of us?" Silence. "Jen?" "Dad, maybe it's better if we keep some distance right now." "What? Why?" "Marcus and I have been talking. He thinks you're trying to control me with money, and honestly, I'm starting to see it too." My heart stopped. "Control you? Jennifer, I never." "You question Marcus about his job. You question every decision I make. You didn't even properly congratulate us when we got engaged." "That's not fair. Is it true you hired a private investigator to look into Marcus's background?" I had, 2 months earlier, after Marcus's third visit about my estate. The investigator found that Marcus had declared bankruptcy twice before age 27. Credit card debt, a pattern of dating women with money. "Well?" Jennifer asked. "Yes," I admitted. She hung up. I tried calling back. Straight to voicemail. I sent emails. No response. I went to her apartment. She wouldn't buzz me up. 2 months before the wedding, I got a text. Not a call. A text. Dad, I think it's best you don't come to the wedding. Marcus and I need to start our marriage without negativity. I'll reach out when I'm ready. Please respect that. I read that message 50 times. 100 times. My daughter, my only child. She wasn't inviting me to her wedding. I called. Voicemail. I texted. Nothing. I went to her workplace. Security escorted me out. If you've ever been erased by someone you love, if you've felt that particular invisibility of having your family treat you like a stranger, you know what those 2 months were like. The wedding was May 18th. I knew the date. I knew the venue. A winery in Bend, Oregon. On May 18th, I woke up at 6 a.m. I made coffee. I sat on my balcony and watched the sunrise over the mountains. 300 miles away, my daughter was getting married, and I wasn't there. At 2 p.m., I opened Facebook. I don't use Facebook much, but I opened it, and there it was, an album. Sarah's wedding photography had tagged Jennifer Holloway, not Jennifer Mitchell. Holloway. She'd already changed her name. 63 photos, Jennifer in a white dress, Marcus in a gray suit, a ceremony by the lake. String lights, 200 guests. I looked at every photo. I was searching for something. I don't know. A sign that I was missed. An empty chair with my name. Nothing. In one photo, Marcus's father was walking Jennifer down the aisle. The man had met my daughter twice. I closed my phone. And for the first time since Catherine died, I cried. After the wedding, I waited. I told myself Jennifer needed time. Space. A few weeks to settle into married life. Then she'd reach out. We'd talk. We'd fix this. 1 week passed. Nothing. 2 weeks. Silence. A month. Complete silence. I didn't call. I didn't text. I respected her request for distance. But every morning I'd wake up and check my phone. Maybe today she'll call. Maybe you know what it's like to wait for a call that never comes. To check your phone 100 times a day, even though you know there's nothing. To rehearse conversations in your head that will never happen. That was my summer. In July, I ran into one of Catherine's old friends at the grocery store, Margaret Chen. She'd known Jennifer since she was a baby. "Thomas, how are you?" Margaret hugged me. I saw the wedding photos on Facebook. "Jennifer looked so beautiful. You must be so proud." "I am," I said. What else could I say? It was such a lovely ceremony. The venue. And Marcus seems like such a nice young man. Very attentive. "You were there?" I asked. "Oh, yes." Catherine and I were so close. Jennifer invited several of us. The old book club crowd. Margaret paused when she saw my face. "Wait, you were there too, right?" "No," I said quietly. Margaret's expression changed. "Oh, Thomas, I'm so sorry. I just assumed it's fine. But you're her father? Why wouldn't you?" She trailed off, understanding dawning. "Oh, sweetheart, I'm so sorry." I left the store without finishing my shopping. That night, I made a decision. I called my lawyer, Richard Brennan, the attorney who'd handled Catherine's estate. "Richard, I need to update my will." "Okay," Richard said carefully. "What kind of changes are we talking about?" "I want to remove Jennifer as my primary beneficiary." Long silence. "Thomas, are you sure? This is a significant change." I told him everything. The engagement, Marcus's questions, the private investigator, the wedding I wasn't invited to. "Jesus," Richard said softly when I finished. "I'm sorry, Thomas. But before we make drastic changes, have you considered family counseling? Mediation?" "She won't talk to me, Richard. I've tried." "Okay, then let me give you some options. What do you want to do with the inheritance?" I'd been thinking about this. $5.8 million. Money Jennifer didn't know about. Money she probably assumed would be hers someday. "I want to establish a charitable foundation," I said. "The Catherine Mitchell Foundation. Focus on cancer research and support for families dealing with terminal illness. When I die, everything goes there. Everything? Everything. Thomas, that's your right. But as your attorney and your friend, I have to ask, are you doing this because you're hurt? Or because you genuinely believe it's the right thing? I thought about it. Really thought. Both, I said honestly. I'm hurt. I'm angry. But Richard, if Jennifer can erase me from the most important day of her life, if she can let her new father-in-law walk her down the aisle, then she's made her choice. Marcus is her family now. She doesn't need my money. What if she reaches out? What if she apologizes? Then we'll talk, and maybe I'll change the will again. But right now, today, this is what I want. Richard prepared the new will. I signed it 2 weeks later. Everything to the foundation. Nothing to Jennifer. After I signed, I felt lighter. Not happy, but clearer. Like I'd stopped waiting for something that wasn't going to happen. August passed. September. I kept busy. Volunteered at a soup kitchen, took a pottery class, joined a hiking group. I built a life that didn't revolve around waiting for my daughter to remember I existed. Then in October, 5 months after the wedding, Jennifer called. I was making dinner when my phone rang, her name on the screen. My heart jumped. Jennifer? Hi, Dad. Her voice was strained, uncertain. Hi, sweetheart. How are you? I'm fine. Married life is good. How are you? I'm good. An awkward silence. Dad, I'm sorry I haven't called. Things have been complicated. I understand. Do you? Because I'm not sure I can anymore. She took a deep breath. Marcus and I have been fighting a lot. A lot. Actually, about you. About me? He's convinced you're going to cut me out of your will because of the wedding, and it's causing problems. There it was. Not, I miss you, Dad. Not, I'm sorry I hurt you. Just worry about the will. Jennifer, why is Marcus thinking about my will? Because we need to plan our future. Dad, do you know how expensive it is to live in Portland? We're trying to buy a house. We need to know what our long-term financial situation looks like. You're 32, I said slowly. You shouldn't be planning your finances around an inheritance. Easy for you to say. You sold a company. You've got your life set up. Some of us are still working. You have a good job? I'm a graphic designer, Dad. I make $55,000 a year. Marcus is currently between positions. He's unemployed. He's transitioning. God, you've always looked down on him. Maybe you know that moment when you realize someone didn't call because they missed you. They called because they need something. Why are you really calling, Jennifer? Silence. Then, Marcus and I found a house in Kenton. It's perfect. 3 bedrooms. Great neighborhood. Close to good schools for down the road, you know. Okay. 1.4 million? That's a big house. Dad, this is Portland. That's actually reasonable for the area. But we need help with the down payment. 20% down is $280,000. We have 60 saved. We need 220 more. $220,000. You want me to give you $220,000? Not give. Loan. We'll pay you back, eventually. When the time comes, it'll come out of my inheritance anyway, right? Jennifer, you didn't invite me to your wedding. Dad, you let Marcus's father walk you down the aisle. It was complicated. You erased me from the most important day of your life, and now you want me to give you $220,000? So that's it? You're going to punish me forever? Use money to control me? I'm not trying to control you. Then prove it. Help us get this house. Or admit Marcus was right about you all along. Right about what? That you only love me when I do what you want. That your love is conditional. That everything always has strings attached. I close my eyes. Jennifer, my love for you has never been conditional. But respect, trust, those aren't free. When you excluded me from your wedding, you broke something. You can't fix that by asking for money. Fine. Her voice was ice. Fine. We'll figure it out ourselves. We don't need you. Jennifer, she hung up. I stood in my kitchen with the phone in my hand. Dinner burning on the stove. That was October. She didn't call in November, didn't call in December. Christmas came. I spent Christmas alone. I assumed Jennifer spent it with Marcus's family. Then in January, a text. The first communication in 3 months. Dad, I'm pregnant. I stared at those 3 words. I was going to be a grandfather. I called immediately. She answered. Jennifer, that's wonderful. Congratulations. Thanks. Her voice sounded tired. We're due in August. How are you feeling? Sick. Constantly. And scared. Dad, we still haven't bought a house. We're living in a 1-bedroom rental. We can't raise a baby here. And Marcus still hasn't found steady work. He's doing consulting, but it's inconsistent. I'm sorry, that sounds stressful. The thing is, we really need that down payment now, before the baby comes. We need space. We need stability. And Dad, I know things have been difficult between us, but this is your grandchild. Don't you want them to grow up in a proper home? Every parent has boundaries. Every parent reaches a point where love conflicts with self-preservation, where you have to decide if helping means enabling, if giving means being used. Jennifer, I want to help you. I do. But not like this. Not like what? Not in a situation where Marcus is making the decisions. Not when you only reach out when you need money. That's not fair. I'm pregnant and scared, and you're making this about... This isn't about money, I said louder than I intended. This is about you cutting me out of your life. You married a man who sees me as a bank account, and now you're pregnant, and suddenly I'm family again, only because you need something? Silence. Is that what you think? She whispered. That I only called because I need money? What else should I think? Maybe that I'm your daughter? Maybe that I'm scared? Maybe that I made mistakes, and I don't know how to fix them, and I'm doing the best I can. Her voice cracked. She was crying. Jennifer, forget it. Forget I called. We'll figure it out on our own. Enjoy your life, Dad. Enjoy your money. I hope it keeps you warm. She hung up. I didn't call back. But I lay awake that night thinking about Catherine. What would she want me to do? Would she want me to help Jennifer or protect myself? I didn't know anymore. The next morning I called Richard. Don't reverse the will, I said. Leave it as is. Everything to the foundation. Are you sure? I'm sure. Okay, Richard said quietly. For what it's worth, Thomas, I think you're doing the right thing. Setting boundaries isn't punishment. It's self-respect. Then why does it feel so bad? Because you're a good father, and sometimes good fathers have to make hard choices. February passed. March, April. Silence. Then in May, exactly 1 year after the wedding I wasn't invited to. Marcus showed up at my condo. I almost didn't let him in. But curiosity won. He looked different, thinner, more stressed. The expensive suit was gone. Jeans and a wrinkled shirt. Thomas, thanks for seeing me. What do you want, Marcus? He sat on my couch without being invited. I'm going to be honest with you. We're drowning. Jennifer goes on maternity leave in 3 months. I'm picking up contract work, but it's not enough. We're behind on rent. Our credit cards are maxed, and we're about to have a baby. I'm sorry to hear that. I know you don't like me. I know you think I'm after Jennifer's money, and honestly, maybe I was at first, but things changed. I love her. I really do. And I'm terrified of disappointing her, of disappointing our kid. If you've ever seen someone drop the walls they spent years building, seen artifice turn into real fear, you know what that looks like. What do you want from me? I asked. Help us, Marcus said. Please, I'm begging you. Not 200,000. I know that's too much. But something. 20,000. To pay bills. To buy baby stuff. Something so I can look my pregnant wife in the eye and tell her we're going to be okay. Did Jennifer send you here? No. She'd kill me if she knew. She's too proud. But Thomas? She cries every night about money, about the baby, about you. She misses you. She's just too stubborn to say it. I looked at this man I'd hated for 2 years, this man who'd helped push my daughter out of my life. Get out, I said quietly. Thomas, get out of my home and don't come back. He left. I poured myself a drink, then another, and I made a decision about what happens next. After Marcus left, I sat on my balcony until midnight. I remembered. Catherine used to say that love without boundaries isn't love, it's self-destruction. The next morning I called Richard. I want you to do something, I said. Set up a meeting. Me, Jennifer, Marcus, and you. Tell them it's about my estate. Tell them I've made final decisions, and they need to be there. Thomas, what are you planning? The truth. They want to know what's in my will. I'll tell them, face to face. Richard scheduled it for the following week. His office. Friday afternoon. I arrived early. Richard had coffee ready. Are you sure about this? He asked. I'm sure. Jennifer and Marcus arrived together. Jennifer was 6 months pregnant. It showed. She looked tired. Beautiful, but tired. She had Catherine's eyes. Dad. She didn't hug me. I didn't hug her. Jennifer. Marcus. I nodded at them. Please sit. We sat around Richard's conference table, like a business meeting, like strangers. Richard said this was about your estate, Marcus began. We appreciate you including us. I'm not including you in anything, I said calmly. I'm informing you of decisions I've made. Jennifer's face paled. Over the past year, I continued, you've both been very concerned about my will, about what happens to my money when I die. So I thought you deserved to know. Dad, when I sold my company 6 years ago, I walked away with $5.8 million after taxes. Marcus's eyes went wide. Jennifer looked shocked. You never told me it was that much, Jennifer whispered. You never asked. You assumed. You speculated. But you never asked. Okay, Marcus said carefully. So, what's the plan? For the inheritance? I pulled out a folder, slid copies across the table. The Catherine Mitchell Foundation, established 4 months ago, focused on cancer research, patient support, and family counseling for terminal illness survivors. When I die, $5.7 million goes to the foundation. Silence. 5.7, Jennifer's voice broke. All of it? Not all. I kept 100,000 for myself. Enough to live on until I die. The rest is gone. Where did it go? Marcus stood up. You donated $5 million? I established a foundation in my late wife's name, your wife's mother, to help families like ours who watched someone die slowly. But Jennifer's your daughter, your family. That money should go to her. Why? I asked simply. Because she's biologically mine? Because I raised her? She's made it very clear I'm no longer her family. She got married without me. She's building a life without me. So I'm leaving an inheritance without her. Jennifer was crying, silent tears streaming down her cheeks. Dad, I made mistakes. I know. But this? You're punishing me by giving my inheritance to strangers? This isn't your inheritance, Jennifer. It never was. It was mine. To use however I choose. But the baby, Marcus pointed at Jennifer's stomach. Your grandchild. You're going to leave them nothing. No, I said quietly. I'm leaving them something far more valuable than money. I'm leaving them an example. I'm showing them that dignity matters. Self-respect matters. You don't buy love. You earn it. This is insane, Marcus shouted. Richard, tell him he's making a huge mistake. Richard stayed calm. My client has the right to distribute his estate as he sees fit. The foundation is legally established. The will is signed and witnessed. There's nothing to contest. Maybe you've been in a moment where everything you've built, every relationship you valued, came down to a single decision. A moment where you chose between being loved and being respected. I want both of you to leave, I said. Dad, Jennifer grabbed my hand. I pulled away. You made your choice at your wedding. Now I've made mine. They left. Marcus cursing under his breath, Jennifer sobbing. Richard and I sat in silence for a long time. "Are you okay?" he finally asked. "No, but I will be." "That was 8 weeks ago. The baby was born 3 weeks ago. A boy. They named him Christopher. Christopher Thomas Holloway. I know because Jennifer's friend Sarah posted photos on Facebook. I have a grandson I've never met. 2 days after Christopher was born, Jennifer sent me a text, just a photo, her holding the baby. She looked exhausted, happy, terrified. The text said, "He has your nose." I stared at that photo for an hour. Then I typed back, "Congratulations. He's beautiful." 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, "I'm sorry, Dad. I know. Can we talk, please?" I thought about it. Really thought? "Not yet," I typed. "But someday. When you're ready to talk about more than money. When you're ready to explain why you erased me. When you're ready to apologize without conditions. Then we'll talk." "Okay," she typed back. "I understand. I love you." I didn't respond. Because love isn't enough, not by itself. Love requires respect, trust, honesty. The foundation opens next month. The Catherine Mitchell Foundation. We've already identified 3 families we'll support. 3 families watching someone die. 3 families who'll get counseling, financial help, and hope. Catherine would have loved this. She always said the worst part of dying wasn't the pain. It was watching us suffer. Now other families won't suffer alone. Jennifer still texts occasionally. Photos of Christopher. Updates. "He smiled today." "He's sleeping through the night," I respond. Briefly, kindly, but I don't visit. I don't offer help. I don't send money. Maybe someday we'll rebuild. Maybe Christopher will grow up knowing his grandfather. Maybe Jennifer will understand why I did what I did. Or maybe she won't. Either way, I sleep at night. If you've ever had to choose between being someone's ATM or being someone's father, you know which one leaves your soul intact. I'm 58 years old. I have a grandson I've never held. I have a daughter who loves me, but only realized it when my money was gone. And I have a foundation that will help hundreds of families long after I'm dead. Catherine would say I made the right choice, and that's enough.